Welcome everyone to Talent Experience Live, your weekly look at all things human resources, talent acquisition, talent management, and everything in between. I am your host, Devin Foster, and of course, we interrupt this regular Thursday for March Madness and the news of the Jets getting Aaron Rodgers and everything in between, but we're not here to talk about that today. You're going to have to put basketball on hold for just a little while, because today we are talking about Phenom's upcoming conference, IAMPHENOM, located in Philadelphia, March 28th through the 30th. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, don't worry, you can still do so online. We're going to give actually a couple tickets away today, so all you have to do to enter is simply comment. We'll call you out. If you have any questions about the event, feel free to fire them away. And of course, this program, as well as IAMPHENOM, is proudly brought to you by the good folks at Phenom, whose purpose is to help 1 billion people find the right job. That is the reason why I show up to work today. That is the reason why all of my guests showed up to work today, and why we'll show up to work tomorrow and the continuing days after that. So you may be asking or thinking to yourselves, well, how do you do that? How do you help 1 billion people find the right job? And the answer is quite simple. It is through an intelligent talent experience platform, which helps candidates find the right fit faster, employees evolve in their current roles and beyond, recruiters achieve some next level productivities, and managers build better team with data and teams and analytics and everything in between. So if you'd like to learn more, head on over to phenom.com, or you can always register for our event where you can talk to a real live human being about it. Neither here nor there. I mentioned we're giving away free IAMPHENOM tickets today. All you have to do is comment. We're going to get the comments started here right now with who do you think is going to win March Madness, going to win the NCAA tournament? Maybe it is your alma mater. Maybe it is the team you grew up loving. I personally think that Alabama is going to win it all. That's what I have in my bracket. But let us know who you are rooting for, and we are going to jump right into our topic today. All things IAMPHENOM. It is uncensored, but I promise we are not going to curse on this program. I have two wonderful guests joining us. It is Hannah Gregory and John Deal. I see Rich Johnson chiming in the comment section saying UCLA. Let's go Bruins, right? For your sake, Rich. We are going to bring Hannah and John on in just a second. But before we do that, to keep this excitement going about IAMPHENOM, let's run a quick promo. If that doesn't get you excited about IAMPHENOM, I know this segment of Talent Experience Live will. John and Hannah, welcome to the program. Thank you for joining. Before we get into the nitty gritty of IAMPHENOM, I have to ask you both. Hannah, we'll start with you. Who do you think is going to win March Madness, the NCAA tournament?
Oh, man. Well, a friend and a teammate would want me to say the Blue Devils. So I'm going to go ahead and root for them out of camaraderie.
There you go. John, how about you?
We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Also for a teammate, Roll Tide, dude.
Oh, Alabama. All right. I like to hear it. I see Bradley Cooper in the comments section saying UVA, the Cavaliers, and Maggie saying Marquette as well. I have a couple friends that went to Marquette, so I'm just excited to watch some basketball, and I promise that I am going to, as I work simultaneously, once this wraps up. But I brought you two on today. I know you head up and have a lot to do with our learning and development, our training team. So I want to ask you about the first day of IAMPHENOM, which is the 28th. And we'll start with you, Hannah. What is training day all about? What does it consist of?
Yeah, so training day is all about bringing the training experience, the learning experience to life with some extra pizzazz. We're going to have engagement sessions that get folks involved. We're going to have networking opportunities. We're going to have games, product sneak peeks, live demos, giveaways. It's really going to be all about bringing training out of a Zoom meeting, out of a recorded course, and bringing it to life, essentially. So attendees will be able to obtain SHRM credits for each session that they attend, and maybe come away with a few prizes and a few connections for their professional portfolio. So we're really excited about it.
That's awesome. John, anything to add?
It was a great time in 2020, Devin, when everybody got to be in the room and talk to each other. And we have a lot of customers who constantly ask us, like, how are other people doing this? And now they get to ask them directly, right? So it's really cool to see everybody kind of come together, especially after a couple of years of being not together. Live and direct with subject matter experts and other customers going through the same problems and daily routines.
Absolutely. I mean, IAMPHENOM in 2020 might have been the last event that the world saw before everything shut down. A couple things that I want to call attention to, and quick little questions. You mentioned games, Hannah. Can we gamble on them, or is that strictly for the NCAA tournament?
For the sake of the celebration, probably keep it just towards the tournament. But
I like that.
There's no game that you won't gamble on, buddy. Who are you kidding? You probably gambled on what she was going to say as the answer.
Exactly. No, that's awesome. And John, I love that you said, asking people face to face, right? Instead of, having that conversation. It really is a networking opportunity. But I want to pose this question to you, Hannah. Oftentimes when people think of training, they think of a new experience, right? They think of a training manual or directions when you purchase a new product. Is training day exclusively for folks who may not be too familiar with the Phenom platform, or is it really something where folks can learn and add to their skill set?
Yeah, so the latter. We wanted folks to be able to continue their learner journey with us. So we've designated advanced level tracks versus beginner level tracks. So if you're brand new, if you're in need of traditional training, you'll find sessions. If you've been with us for years, if you think you know your stuff, you'll still come and be able to learn something in our advanced sessions. So we have tracks for advanced sourcers and recruiters, talent marketers, talent managers, master admin, and even our partners as well. So we wanted to continue building on that journey and offer up an advanced level information to everyone. So yeah. Come awesome. And join. No matter what you'll learn something.
Yeah. And people are excited. I want to call attention to Donna saying she's looking forward to the conference. Donna, we can't wait to see you there. John, do you find yourself being more of a new user with the Phenom platform, or would you consider yourself advanced?
The interesting thing about Phenom is, we bring out new features monthly, right? So even if you're with somebody who's been with the platform for a little while, they can learn new stuff all the time. So it's good that Hannah and her team have put together a good mix of items that even an advanced user as myself will be able to benefit from learning new tricks. I don't want to say old dog, like middle-aged dog.
That's fair. I understand what you mean there. And I think you're absolutely right. Like when we think of everyday technologies that we use, even our iPhone, right? It'll roll out a new iOS platform or something along those lines. And before you dive in, it's going to give you some of that training. But oftentimes, to your point, you learn tips and tricks from the people next to you, right? There's no tutorial, right? How they leverage that technology. So I think there's a lot of value for everyone there. Hannah, do you think that there is a session or track that you are most excited to learn about? Because obviously we can all learn a little something there. So one maybe speaker or topic that you are interested in hearing someone's perspective.
Yeah, I mean, selfishly, I want to say I'm excited for all of them, right? Like I've been behind the scenes, I've been watching them all be put together. They include really awesome features, interactive opportunities. But I think I'm most excited actually for the activity hour after lunch. We wanted something that will get people out of their seats, that'll be engaging, that'll kind of shake off the post-lunch drowsiness, if you will, and keep everyone engaged. So those activities are actually going to be based in related topics, but you're going to come away with a ton of information from those too. I heard that there's a pretty interesting one off of building your own automations. So if you have interest, definitely make sure you join that.
That is awesome. John, how about you? Anything in particular?
No, there's a lot of good content there. One of the things that I am actually excited for is that we're also going to be running some user research sessions at the training day. So not only will you get to learn new stuff, but you'll also get to give some input directly to the product folks on, where do you want to see the product go? What do you feel about some of the designs, some of the things that you deal with in our different parts of the platform. So it's chock full of not only the learning tracks, but also other things that are going to keep people engaged.
Yeah, absolutely. And I imagine, Hannah, you called out the activity session. I imagine just like kind of in middle school and high school, do you remember when we go out to gym class or wherever it may be, you'd kind of stick with your friends in the corner. You wouldn't, play with the others. I imagine that these activity sessions are going to encourage folks to speak with people in different industries, right? From different organizations and share some of that knowledge. I want to ask you, can folks still sign up for this? We're coming up for it. I know, we certainly have sold a ton of tickets, but I imagine not everyone has signed up for training day. Is it still available for people to consider?
It is, absolutely. I know that we're coming down to the wire here and we're just a few short weeks away or so, but yeah, we still have space. We still have seats. People can absolutely register. If you're coming to the conference already, I mean, might as well, right? Come on and join us, and you can register and save your seat on the website by logging in. So that assures your spot in the training sessions that you most want to join.
So, I mean, I imagine folks flying into Philly. Typically, when we go to conferences, we fly in maybe a day early or so, right? Catch up on work, make sure everything's sorted. But if you are there, you can potentially register. Catch the tail end. Maybe some of those activity sessions that Hannah was talking about after lunch is exciting. I do want to ask. We've talked a little bit about intermingling teams and things like that. Aside from just training day itself, is there anything going on afterwards that folks may be able to network or maybe enjoy their time in Philadelphia a little bit to experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't want to give away any of the juicy details. I'll leave it kind of a surprise for folks who are attending, but we are going to have a bit of a Philly flavored welcome reception for everyone that evening. Since we are kicking off IAMPHENOM, everyone's going to be coming into town. Like you said, we want to celebrate that. We want to get folks excited. So there will be an event later that evening. So definitely come in and say hi and join us for that.
Awesome. John, that means you're running a tour bus to and from Pat's and Gino's and D'Alessandro's and everywhere in between, correct? You are the bus driver?
It's a blind taste test across the board. You get on the bus, it's filled with cheesesteaks, and we drive around the city and look at historical landmarks while we eat. So, but there's going to be a party. It's going to be a great event. Both the pre-conference day and then the rest of the conference, which I know we have some other folks that are going to talk about that in a little bit. So I'm excited, and it's coming up, man. 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, right?
It's around the corner. Yeah.
Yes.
I know. I can't wait. Well, I know you two are still, not working through things, but getting exciting, making sure everything is perfect. So I don't want to take up any more of your time today. I want to thank you both for talking through training day. As you both mentioned, there's still slots available. Feel free to sign up, IAMPHENOM.com. We can't wait to see you there. And thank you both so much for joining the program today.
Absolutely.
Devin.
Thanks for having us. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon. So that was Hannah and John. They were talking all about training day. But you must be saying, Devin, training day. IAMPHENOM's 3 days long. What else is going on? So my next guest, Monica Montesa, is going to speak exclusively on main stage sessions. What's going on? What are the marquee speakers and what are the topics that are going to be covered? So I'm going to bring her on in just a moment. But before that, let's share a quick video on what some of the extracurricular activities you can do at IAMPHENOM. Hey, Monica, how are you?
Hi, Devin. I'm great. How are you?
I am good. The videos just get me more excited, right?
Yes.
To see things in action. Yeah, I can read, information about IAMPHENOM all day, about the agenda and everything in between, but seeing, some of the exciting things happening always gets me fired up. Today, I want to talk to you exclusively about the main stage and maybe a few other things. But my first question for you, obviously, is the icebreaker. Who do you have winning the NCAA tournament?
It's funny you asked that. I believe I have Alabama. It's either them or Houston. I am not a basketball person. March Madness, not my thing. So we'll see. I actually don't remember who I have.
It's okay. None of us know college basketball enough to win. I think Warren Buffett every year offers $1 million for a perfect bracket. He's still the richest man, one of the richest men on earth. So I think we're all in that same boat, but yeah, I am pulling for Alabama or Houston, whichever it may be in your case. Monica, now obviously IAMPHENOM, #1 intelligent talent experience conference in the world, but I want to ask you, we're obviously having breakout sessions. There's content for training day. What exactly is on the main stage? Who is that for? And what may be some of the topics that are covered?
Yeah. So great question. The main stage is really for all HR professionals. We've really gone through to make sure that every session, every speaker, every topic is carefully curated to resonate with anybody and everybody who's in HR. So whether you're on the recruiting TA side of the house, you're focused on filling roles quickly, you're on talent management side of the house, supporting employee development, retention, executives, CHRO, considering the whole big picture, how you're going to continue growing and supporting overall company goals, there will be a session for you on the main stage.
Awesome. I love that. And I like that it is for everyone, because oftentimes, whether you're in talent acquisition or talent management, sometimes you kind of get those blinders, right? Where you're focused exclusively on your side of the house. But at the end of the day, we're all focused on keeping talent within the organization when it comes to HR. So a talent acquisition practice could be transferred into talent management. So that is exciting to hear. Are there any highlights that you can share about the main stage? Any sneak peeks that we potentially could get?
Yeah, definitely. So, as I mentioned, we have an amazing main stage lineup at IAMPHENOM this year. We do all years, of course, but what I'm really excited about and that I think attendees and our audience will love are really the different perspectives that will be shared on today's most critical HR topics. And it really, really is going to span the gamut there. And, kicking off the conference on day one will be our CEO and co-founder, Mahi Bayeretti. And he'll be highlighting, some of the biggest challenges, not only facing HR teams, but organizations as a whole, whether it's hiring the right candidates, developing and retaining the right talent, really starting to bring out a lot of those themes, along with, the lens of intelligence, automation, and experience. And we're going to be hearing a lot about all of that and what that means for our day-to-day in the HR space and how we can bring all of those things together to help us accomplish our talent goals and make sure that it's done in a way that's enjoyable for everyone involved, whether it's candidates, employees, managers, recruiters, HR leaders, HRIS, we've got something for everyone. And, I think what's really going to be great about that session in particular, it's really going to set the tone for a lot of what will be covered at IAMPHENOM, during the main stage sessions, during the breakouts, we'll hear stories from different thought leaders and a lot of our customers and speakers from global brands like Bon Secure's Mercy Health, Bright Horizons, True Green. They're going to be sharing, how they're leveraging technology, how they're improving efficiencies on their teams, and really delivering, amazing experiences across the board. And, I don't want to give it all away, but you definitely have to be there for sure.
No, absolutely. I think after, being with Phenom for a number of years, as I have, always listening to Mahi and some of the conversations that he has and where his thoughts come from, they all come from speaking with executives, right? Speaking with the other individuals who you mentioned will be presenting. And whether you're in, the healthcare industry or the frontline worker industry or whatever that may be, similar to what we talked about during training day, there is some knowledge transfer that you can gather from things. A lot of talent acquisition is having the same pain point. Firsthand, Monica, how many, different articles did we read about the great turnover tsunami? And now we're talking about budget cuts and everything in between. Those are things that affect the entire HR landscape. And I'm sure that some folks will definitely touch on those. But I have to ask you, is there a session that when you looked at the lineup, almost like a concert, right? You think of a festival, you're like, oh, there's a lot of great bands, but I really want to see this one. Is there one session that jumped out at you as like, this is, for me personally, the one that I can't miss?
Yeah, it really is hard to choose, but a couple do come to mind. So, we have Safi Bakal. He's an award-winning author, business advisor, kind of a jack of all trades, I want to say. He will be taking the stage as one of our keynote speakers. He wrote a book called Loon Shots, which is about nurturing crazy ideas that essentially ignite transformation in different spaces and industries. And, personally, it sounds really fascinating. And, I'm excited to hear from him and kind of the lens he's gonna take with it at the conference for our attendees. The other one, I know you asked for one session, I'll give you two. The other one that I'm excited to hear about is a panel with a commissioner from the EEOC. He's going to be lending a fresh perspective on AI legislation as it relates to HR, very topical areas for organizations, across the globe, really. And, I think they'll be getting into ChatGPT, generative AI a little bit, and what that really means and what organizations need to consider in their day-to-day. And, I know that in particular, too, is a big topic, just across the board. We had our TXL episode on that recently. And, I'm really looking forward to that one, too.
Yeah, plug that episode with Cliff, because it was one of my favorites. It's streaming on it's streaming on all the streaming services right now. YouTube, LinkedIn, it's still there. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. Everything in between. Monica, I love that you couldn't resist but adding more sessions, right? I'm going to be the first person to ever do this, but this reminds me of Drake's Club Paradise tour in the early 2010s when it was Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and A$AP Rocky and all these other great. That's what IAMPHENOM is. I promise you. Safi's session sounds super exciting. I remember the EEOC actually quoted Mahi when they came out with a little bit of some information. So would love to tune into that session as well. Do you anticipate anything big? Any big announcements? Maybe not an album like Drake did, but anything Phenom related or HR related that could happen at IAMPHENOM?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it wouldn't be at IAMPHENOM without any big announcements, tech-wise, of course. And our day 2 of the event will actually be kicking off with a product innovation keynote, very Apple-esque, and our experts will be taking the stage, demonstrating the latest and upcoming cutting-edge tools that HR teams are probably going to want pretty immediately. I won't say more. I don't want to give away too much of the secret sauce there, but lots of exciting things to keep an eye out from the Phenom team.
Yeah, that is awesome. Now, Monica, sessions are great. Sitting in conference halls are fantastic. You can always gain a ton of knowledge, but I have to ask you, when we look at our agenda, there's sessions up till what, 5, 6 o'clock maybe? What else is there to do? Are we sending folks out onto the streets on Market Street in Philadelphia and saying, just go have fun? Or are we, going to entertain them a little bit as well?
Yeah, well, I hear John Deal's doing this cheesesteak tour.
Yes.
I don't know if that's really happening, but we like to pride ourselves as a not normal culture here at Phenom, and we definitely want to bring that out at IAMPHENOM. So we do have a lot of really fun activities planned, as we do most years. I know in the past, Devin, you've actually led our Philly famous Rocky Steps run through the streets of Philadelphia, up the Art Museum steps. So that will be happening again as well. We'll have yoga, meditation, and then Wednesday night, we have an exciting, awesome party at the Brooklyn Bowl in Philadelphia. It's kind of like a concert venue meets bowling alley type of vibe. So it's going to be really awesome. We'll have live entertainment from an 80s cover band called Jesse's Girl, which I hear they're amazing, pretty big deal. So it's going to be a really fun time.
Yeah, no, I am familiar with the Brooklyn Bowl in Las Vegas, oddly enough, only because of HR Tech events where, there are parties and activities going afterwards. So similar vibe here in Philly. I'm excited for it. And much like John Deal, I was just kind of gifted that Rocky Run activity. I think he was just gifted by me the cheesesteak activity. So I'm excited for both nonetheless. You can have your cheesesteak at night and then run it off in the morning. Now, Monica, we talked a lot about this being exclusive for, HR, right, in general, as a whole, not particular on main stage for different personas. But I have to ask you, is there going to be other content that folks will use, or is it mostly just geared towards the HR audience?
Yeah, that's a good question. The main stage is primarily going to be generally geared towards HR. There's sessions for everyone. It's going to hit on a lot of different topics, both on the talent acquisition and hiring side, talent management, retention. All of it's really going to tie back to ways that we can all hire faster, develop better, retain longer. We'll be hearing from different customers who will be sharing some of their specific stories and learnings that we can all get inspired from. And, it's really going to be more at that broad level. And then the breakout sessions, which I know will be coming up soon. You guys will be talking about that's really where our attendees are going to be able to dive deeper.
Awesome. Monica, I can't wait. I know we will both be there. We will probably be working into the night on it to make sure that everything is perfect. But I hope that the viewers found this information super useful. I saw Donna chimed in and said she is looking forward to the EEOC conversation as well. I am too. This is going to be great content there. I can't wait to get it out on our socials for folks. But remember, if you can't maybe budget for this right now, feel free to comment in the comment section, and we are going to give some free tickets away after the show. So definitely keep the comments coming. Monica, thank you so much for joining. Go Houston or Alabama, whoever it may be, and can't wait to potentially have you on after IAMPHENOM, and we can recap some sessions if that works for you.
Sounds great. Thanks, Devin.
Awesome.
Bye.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. Awesome. That was Monica Montessa talking all about, Monica Montessa. Yes, correct. I don't know if I'm butchering her name. I probably should have asked her while I was on here. Neither here nor there. She was talking all about the main stage, some of our keynote speakers that are coming on, as well as some extracurricular activities that are happening on the bookends of the conference. You can run in the morning or attend our events in the evening. All of it is very exciting stuff. But she also teased a little bit about our breakout session, about specific tracks that are going to be available for talent management, talent acquisition, and a number of others. And I'm going to bring on John Harrington in just a moment to talk about those. But before that, let's run another promo video. How's that sound? Here we go. No matter how you do it, you just gotta keep it moving. Go. Keep it moving. What's going on, John? How are you?
Good to be here, Devin. Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for joining. Who you got winning the NCAA tournament before we dive into the IAMPHENOM content?
So I'm kind of spoiled as a Villanova fan over the past few years. It's always been Nova, and they've always had a chance. And now the changing of the guard with Jay Wright being gone, I don't really have them in my bracket for obvious reasons. So I'm gonna go for the Kentucky Wildcats, since I can't choose my own Wildcats, just in hopes that maybe they win me a bracket for the first time. That'd be cool.
Absolutely. I think Coach Cal still has a little bit of magic left in his hat. So let's go Wildcats. Jumbo, move over basketball, right? I know some games are going on right now, but we are talking about the breakout tracks at IAMPHENOM. So what specifically are these tracks, and what potentially is covered during them?
Sure. So you did give a little bit of info. I'll go a little deeper. The breakouts are really geared towards different personas. And so there's going to be something for everybody. And that's the goal. They're intended to really dial in on some of the things that we hear come up in customer conversations that we know are top of mind for a lot of the talent practitioners we're working and speaking with every day. And it's intended to make sure that there's an opportunity to learn something you didn't know before, or hear an approach to take with the challenge that you're contending with, and make sure that we're really weaving in different perspectives from those that have been there before, or those that are currently going through it, and where we have good anecdotes and good examples that can help illustrate a path forward, and using the customer voice to really help steer folks in the right direction. So I would definitely encourage anyone and everyone that's going to be at IAMPHENOM to look into our breakouts and figure out what's right for you. As mentioned, we will have a few brands up on stage with us, and just to name a few, Southwest Airlines, BAE, Kuehne+Nagel, Bright Horizons, Circle K, United Airlines. These are all brands that'll be representing their point of view, the approaches they're taking, and where they're using technology and different approaches to get ahead of the challenges that they're facing.
Hey, John, those aren't mom and pop shops down the block, right? Those are humble brag with some of the names that you just dropped there. And I'm sure there's intelligence when you think about those organizations and the number of folks that they have to hire, retain, and implement technology for. That's no easy task, right? But I want to ask you specifically, you mentioned 3 breakout tracks. Why is it so important to have separate tracks for separate personas, right? I'm sure that a talent manager could learn a lot in a talent acquisition track, but why was it set up that it was, hey, we really want to give you this speaker and this set of information?
Sure. Yeah. First and foremost, just making it easier to discover the content that's most relevant to you as a practitioner. And they're not really even just limited to if you're that practitioner or that's your focus. You could also go to an alternative session or track and learn something new that you didn't know before. Part of the beauty of our platform is that it's intended to break down silos and help teams work closer together and work through challenges in a more cohesive, comprehensive way. So the goal is to really organize the content around some of the things that are being faced by talent practitioners today. What are the best means to attract talent, to engage talent, to convert talent, to hire talent, right? In the TA track, that's going to be a big focus. And we're going to go through some of the approaches that customers are taking to get ahead of those types of things with AI, with automation, with the power of video. So that there's that. And from a retention and growth perspective, the talent management track is going to really key in on some of the things that organizations are experiencing on how do they engage their employees better. How do they take a skills-based approach when they don't know where to start? What kind of strategic implications are required? One of our customers is going to go through what a blueprint for an employee experience rollout consists of. So there's going to be a series of different topics that are available, and some might appeal to folks that are really going through that right now. And we wanted to make a variety accessible. So each track will have up to 6 sessions, splitting across 2 different days. 30 minutes each. And one of the benefits beyond just getting the customer voice is also showcasing some of the technology that's making it happen at the end of the day. So really bringing it all together and showing the kind of impact that it can have.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. And I think of these large scale organizations who may not be able to send all of their team there, right? But if you have your talent acquisition team represented really well, but you see a track that may be useful for your talent management team, you can split up, right? And then share notes afterwards. We talked about how vital networking is at this event and how a lot of organizations are dealing with the same struggles. If you could share ideology across the aisle, if you will, that's only going to help your organization. So I love that if you want to stick, towards your track, keep those blinders on and stay focused on your area of the house, or maybe you're looking to grow your career into a talent management director or something along those lines. So that's a huge initiative and you want to step up. Those sessions are there and available to you as well. John, all of these sessions sound wonderful. What's the one that you're most excited for?
So there's a little mystery, and we always try to keep things exciting, so I don't want to unveil too much, but one of the aspects of the event that we're really excited about, and it was actually in the promo video leading into this part of TXL today, is that we're gonna showcase some new technology that people maybe haven't heard about, maybe haven't seen before. And just like the customer breakouts I mentioned, we're really keying in on things we're hearing and observing and seeing, and how customers are struggling and how we feel we need to manufacture and roll out better approaches to get ahead of those things. So we will have a dedicated innovation track that's intended to go into that level of depth. And many of the things that people are going to see and hear about, they'll be available in this calendar year to get your hands on, to get exposure to learn about, and to begin experimenting with and using. And I'll just shout out a few of those. I'm excited for all of them, but I'm not going to give it all away right now. But we will have one dedicated to alumni network, which makes it easier for organizations to facilitate connections with alumni employees and determine if there's opportunities for them to explore opportunities from within the organization, even after they've left. We also will get into, there's been so much around ChatGPT. We'll be getting into the implications of generative AI, what kinds of use cases should be top of mind for HR leaders and practitioners, and what types of ways is it manifesting and what Phenom's delivering and making accessible. We'll also have an interview intelligence session, and we're kind of calling that the gong for recruiters. And it's something that also has implications beyond just recruiting teams, also interview management, hiring managers. But it's opening the black box within the interview process, giving more detail, giving more intelligence, making a process that's really misunderstood and not known well enough about, and getting the detail in front of the decision makers and making it possible to make decisions much faster. So we'll be going into each of those individually, giving some demos, and obviously opening up the floor for people to ask questions and get more exposure to things they find interesting and they're looking forward to exploring further.
Yeah. When you said it was one of the promo videos, I thought you were going to say we're all going to be extras in an Always Sunny episode. Now I'm more excited because I was not ready to be on an Always Sunny episode, but you mentioning some of that product unveiling and things like that, that's exciting. You did cop out a little bit because you didn't give me an overall favorite section, but you mentioned a few. So I'm going to put you back on the hot seat, John. You can't get away from me. Any particular speakers that you want to highlight? You don't have to talk about their sessions if you don't want to, but who are you excited to hear and step on stage?
Yep. So I'm really excited for the entire talent discovery team at MasterCard. Matthias Leitzman will be speaking about the role that intelligence is playing in discovering top talent. That's definitely one I'm really looking forward to. And I've been seeing how the content's shaping up for it. So it's exciting to see it all come together. Sandra Asma, the global HR systems manager at Kuehne+Nagel, she's going to be going into how to maximize workforce potential using skills and competencies. And that's coming under the TM track. And then I would say for the HRIS track, the one I'm most looking forward to is Circle K. And they're going to go into detail on how their global convenience store chain, how they integrated their HR tech stack to align with their organizational goals. So they'll be going into a lot of depth on that topic. And I think it'll be interesting. It's one of the sessions. It won't just be interesting for HRIS teams, but talent acquisition teams as well. So a few to name there, and not obviously limited to just those.
No, that's fair. I will get you off. You're off the hot seat now. I appreciate it. But I like that you mentioned that there is a combination of, both product focused things as well as some thought leadership sessions as well. Overall, to steal a phrase from MasterCard, IAMPHENOM sounds like a priceless event, right? It cannot be missed, right? You may have to, fly out, buy some dinner or whatever that may be. But overall, the knowledge that you are going to gather from IAMPHENOM is priceless. So, John, I want to thank you so much. Any parting shots before I let you off the hot seat and you go watch some basketball this afternoon?
I wanted to know, did you get any news on Aaron Rodgers yet before we go? I know you're a big Jets fan, right, Devin? Am I correct?
I am a huge Jets fan. I may have posted something on LinkedIn about it. They've let me down before, so I'm cautiously optimistic, but I have it on good authority. My daughter's been on the phone with the Packers all morning, and I think the deal is going to get done. And just like every offseason, the Jets win the offseason, right? Regular season, we'll worry about that in September. But right now, I feel pretty good.
Well, I'm happy for you, man. I hope it all works out.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I appreciate you coming on, and I especially appreciate the Jets question. We'll see you soon, man.
Thanks, Devin.
Thank you. Well, there you have it. It may not have been uncensored per se, but we certainly rolled back the curtain a little bit on IAMPHENOM, and I think gave all of you a reason to get excited for the event, a reason to comment and potentially win some free tickets. So feel free to continue to comment even after the show is live. I'm going to go through everything. I see Adam is very excited. I know Donna is. I saw Greg is chiming in from the UK. I don't think King's College of London is in the NCAA tournament, but if they are, I'm rooting for them, Greg. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their afternoon. The weekend, I know March Madness has begun, but in my eyes, March Madness does not begin until March 28th, which of course is when IAMPHENOM kicks off with Training Day, which John and Hannah talked about in the beginning of the episode. We have a number of fantastic keynotes, which Monica talked about right in the middle of the episode. And of course, John Harrington at the end talked a bit about our breakout sessions and how you can get really tailored content specific to what your initiatives and opportunities are. Heather, we are excited for IAMPHENOM as well. Can't wait to see you there, and I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on all of our socials, and check out the podcast on Apple Music and Spotify. Have a great weekend.